Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 EX diesel. 2013 registered car, as you can see, finished in this silver with black leather interior. Just 28,000 miles on this car, or just shy of 29,000 actually, to tell the truth. The car's in lovely condition inside out. It's one of the cleanest cars we've ever had. Externally, got the little body coloured door protector mouldings on the side, which aren't standard, and some chrome plates getting in the car again, which was an option from new, but beautifully looked after. Only have to look after my cars as well as this, but there you go. Lights and lenses completely clear and intact, no condensation cracks or otherwise. Front bumper absolutely as clean as a whistle, the odd kamikaze fly to report. And same with the bonnet. I can't see a stone chip of any note anywhere on there at all. Coming down the near side of the car first, and it's absolutely mirror smooth on the panels there. Full set of Michelin tyres on the car, which is always a lovely sign of ownership on any vehicle, to see someone's got the same high quality make. The panels just look factory fresh, they really do. From this angle again, you see just how clean those panels are. Same with the back of the car, absolutely unmarked. And around to the opposite side of the vehicle. Apologise, it's getting a bit windy today, so I'll do my best to be heard. Come back down the offside. All the panels are just in simply stunning condition. Final alloy again, just there. But it really is a quite extraordinary car, this one. Just coming to the back of the car now. Again, boots are absolutely massive on the Civics, 60/40 fold in the rear seats. And again, it just looks almost as if it's come straight off the production line. Boot liner, always a lovely sign to see those, because it means that the carpet underneath basically looks absolutely as new. This car is also fitted with a space saver spare wheel, not the inflation kit, which again was nearly a £200 option on the car. It's coming inside the car now. The inside matches the exterior in that it's just absolutely amazing condition. Back of the car here, in all honesty, it doesn't look as though the seats have ever really been used. They just have that sheen about them, no indentations on the leatherwork at all. It's just stunning, it really is. All the door cards, again, absolutely perfect, no marks, skags, all the little recesses, just again, because they just haven't been used, that's why they're so good. Same again with the front passenger seat, again, really doesn't look as though it's been given any use at all. Finally, just come around the driver's door card. Again, let's continue the theme. Absolutely perfect. Footwell areas. Obviously, there's a full set of original Civic mats in the car. You can see there you've got these little silver garnishes, Civic garnishes on the doors. Again, lovely to see someone's taken a bit of pride in their car. And driver's seat, of course, is absolutely perfect. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Without wishing to repeat myself, the interior just looks absolutely, so it's just comes straight out of the factory, in simply beautiful condition. Lovely dashboards to use. I'll talk about that more in the following road test video. The video just doesn't do justice to it. There's no kind of sheen or spray on the dashboard at all. It's exactly as you'd expect to see it. And just come in there for you, hopefully you can see, just 28,882 miles on the car, and there are no warning lights, of course. You wouldn't expect it on a car this age, of course, or in any Civic really, but that's the view you get of the dashboard as a driver. It's just absolutely stunning. And again, sorry for my shaky hands, the more you think about it, the more you shake, but it is pristine in here, absolutely beautiful. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 EX diesel. This particular car is registered EY13 EY13VHD, and mileage is just 28,869 miles. Reason for doing the videos is essentially so you get to look at the car that we're advertising in operation. Our customers come from all over Europe and the UK to come and buy our cars, so as I say, the least we can do is go to the time and effort to do this for you. It can be enormously frustrating to go and see a car, get there, drive it and find it's got a mechanical issue which would manifest itself as soon as you drove it, which you clearly should be told about. So that's why we do it. So if there's an issue on the car that I can feel whilst driving now, then obviously that'll be relayed back to you. It's the sole point of doing the videos, actually. The car itself obviously is very low mileage with a quite extraordinary Honda service history. Wasn't due a service really, but we've done one just to sort of keep it on a yearly basis as much as anything else. But the car essentially just feels and drives as brand new. It really, really does. It's a wonderful car. But I'll go through the usual things I always do. Start with the engine. It starts absolutely instantly, of course. It settles to a completely smooth, even idle without any warning lights on the dashboard at all. Temperature gauge running as a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car, whether it be a petrol or a diesel, doesn't make any difference. And the car's been running for quite some time now, so it's obviously up to full operating temperature. The engines are brilliant. They're smooth and quiet in general use day to day. They're punchy, they're quick when you want them to be, as turbo diesels tend to be. But what it has is a lovely power delivery where you're not getting that horrible loads of turbo lag, then loads of power, then nothing. It's got a very nice linear feel to it. Turbo tends to spool up around about 1500 RPM, so that's where you can feel it starting to really kick in. And you can put your foot down, accelerate past things very quickly indeed, or change up relatively quickly actually. So from now, just there I am, 2000 RPM, change up. Gets about to just above, change again. That's the best way to get the economy out of the car, and the economy figures are amazing on it, and they're real as well. I've had exactly one of these cars, ironically in the same colour. My last one, doing short trips, which isn't always conducive to getting the best fuel economy, but my average for the few months I had it was 63 miles per gallon. Longer trips, getting towards 70 actually was relatively easy, just driving normally, going with the flow of the traffic. It really is an extraordinary engine. On top of which, being a Honda, they're generally incredibly reliable and very, very, very long lasting, hundreds of thousands of miles with just regular normal servicing. Engine then feeds through clutch into gearbox. Clutch on the car is, again, just feels brand new. It's smooth and silent to travel. Bite point's exactly where it should be. Gearbox, again, can't feel any slack in it at all. It just feels straight off the production line. It's got a wonderful gear change, it really is. It's got a lovely, solid, meaty feel to it. Very positive, very accurate in its engagement as well. It's really lovely. Steering of the car, track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed, any speed up to the legal limit, which I've just been at there. It's very accurate, very precise, beautifully weighted, and it just suits the car perfectly, and the chassis, because they interact absolutely superbly together. The chassis itself is very nimble. It changes direction really nicely. Corners really flat, which I love, and holds its composure beautifully through the corners. It's very well damped. And on the straight ahead light now, it's also very, very comfortable indeed. It just glides along beautifully. Only the very sharpest ridges can catch them out, as they do any car, but they're far better in that respect than the previous generation that would kind of jar. Not upset me particularly, I know it upset some people, but it's only the sharpest ridges that will catch this one out. There's also no noises coming from underneath. There's no clanks or clunks as you'd expect with such a low mileage. Looking around inside the car, again, I might as well just be sat in a brand new car. That's the feel you're getting. Everything has that kind of freshness. The plastics, I can't see any marks anywhere whilst I'm looking sat from the driver's seat here. And we've not even cleaned the car. that's how clean this thing is. I probably won't even bother. It's that clean. You know, whoever's had it has kept it just in sensational condition, and it's just a beautiful place to sit and drive a car, because most family hatches, to be fair, are designed for a purpose to get you from A to B, your family as well, and your luggage. Honda does that part of it brilliantly. It's the most practical in its class, with the magic seats, the dual level floor, big in the back, huge boots, class leading. But then you've got this wonderful dash design directly in front, which is so unique to the car, and I love it. And you know, not everybody does, which is good. But I think it's just a wonderful dashboard. Everything works exactly as it's intended to as well. Air conditioning is absolutely ice cold. Sat nav, as you can see, they're functioning perfectly. And my favourite part is this part in front of me, the main driver information area. All the high up displays, so for MPG, your radio, all that kind of stuff can be seen up there. If you use a ventilation system, it puts all the display high up as well, so you're not taking your eyes off the road. But my favourite part is this, I always say, is the digital dash, the digital speedo rather, directly in front. It just means I can look at the cars in front there and lorries, but at the same time keep my eyes on my speed without taking my eyes off the road for a second. It's just genius in the way it works. So, you know, it is kind of snazzy to look at, but that doesn't mean it's not practical. It's actually more practical, and that's what Honda do brilliantly well. They wouldn't do this if it didn't serve a purpose. Down below that, we've got a more conventional pod of 3 dials, a big rev counter in the middle, temperature gauge and fuel gauge flanking it on either side. Steering wheel again just looks and feels like brand new in hand. So no ring marks, no rubs, nothing at all on it. It just feels wonderful. I mean, the whole car, you know, whoever is, and they will be very lucky to buy this car, because it is just such a lovely example. It's, you know, as close to new in feel that you could ever get from a car. You know, there will be somewhere on the inside or outside, there will be the odd tiny little mark to give it, you know, take into account its age, I guess, but you have to look hard to find them, and that's you know, that's a sign of very good ownership. As I said at the start, the point was to pick up any issues. Of course, there's nothing at all on the car. Having said that, any questions at all, as always, please don't hesitate. Do give us a call.